I'm AgroBlaze96.
And I'm the Woodshed, and welcome to the AgroShed Podcast. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the AgroShed Podcast. Today, I'm joined with, as always,
AgroBlaze96.
And I'm the Woodshed. Thank you guys so much for coming back. And I want to say thank you guys so much for the continued support on the podcast. We appreciate it so much. Much love, respect. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what other topics you guys want to see us down below. We'll be more than happy to take suggestions on anything gaming, life, movie, shows. Let's hear it. Ain't that right?
Absolutely. So tonight we have a pretty special episode for you guys. And by special, I mean it's something that I put a lot of nonsense together for. As you guys know, I primarily stream Flesh and Blood, and Kyle primarily streams Clash of Clans. And so we're going to have like our individual episodes where we kind of like bring each other into those worlds. And, Kyle knows Flesh and Blood. Kyle's not like completely oblivious. Like Kyle's played other trading card games. Like Kyle understands the TCG world as a whole, which I think makes it interesting. But Kyle doesn't have like the ingrained knowledge of Flesh and Blood of like playing it 4 days a week like I do. So Kyle, I guess to start us off, kind of talk about your experience with TCGs and walk me through a life with Kyle in card games.
So my experience in card games is a little on the limited side. Of course, I grew up playing card games, Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And Yu-Gi-Oh! Was something I actually continue to play into my early adult years and still dabble with every once in a while when I get really bored. But don't worry, everybody, I do shower. So I'm not that good at Yu-Gi-Oh! But that's really my biggest experience. I have a little bit of experience in Magic. I am undefeated against AgroBlaze in Magic, by the way, too. No, I'm 1-1 against you in Flesh and Blood.
Yep.
I did get a win up on him. Somebody going to the Pro Tour, by the way, so I think I should get a fucking invite. But
Jesus Christ, this fucking guy. So, as everybody knows, I played a lot of Magic, and I play a ton of Flesh and Blood now. And Kyle and I have played the games together over the years, like just for fun, just kind of hanging out. And when I got Kyle to play Flesh and Blood with me once, I think we split the games. I think we went 1-1. So Kyle and I have played a little bit of Flesh and Blood, and he has some understanding. And as Kyle said, he plays Yu-Gi-Oh! From time to time still. I know we played that Dual Master Link, whatever the hell it was called, the online version for a while.
Yeah.
And we played a lot as kids. We had the dual discs or whatever the fuck you put on your arm when we were kids.
No, that was it.
And stuff like that. So talking about all the TCGs you've played, tell me which one is your favorite.
That feels like a Lotus question. Obviously, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! Because it's the one I still understand the most.
That's fair.
I don't have to read cards all that often because I know exactly what I play. I am absolutely one of those people. I know this is a TCG world type of thing where people don't read their cards and they get boned because they read them wrong.
I mean,
and in Yu-Gi-Oh! I played the same handful of decks, so I know exactly what does what. So I don't read cards anymore. So that's probably just because of comfort alone.
The term RTFC, read the fucking card, is a real thing.
Read the fucking card. When we started playing Dual Link, I think it was Dual Master.
Whatever it was called.
Zack, I got boned because I got so bored reading the fucking cards because I didn't have the decks I wanted.
He would lose games because I would be the only one reading our cards.
I body him now, though. Dragon Knights for life.
I have no doubt. I kind of figured Yu-Gi-Oh! Would be your choice. Obviously, my favorite, card game is Flesh and Blood. Like, it's kind of obvious at this point. I feel like I still have a special place for Magic, mostly because of my friends and a lot of stuff like that. But, Flesh and Blood all the way. It's just kind of how it goes.
Obviously. For reference, the reason I'm not as big in the Flesh and Blood as Zack is I got into Magic some, and I was learning, and then Zack immediately stopped playing Magic and switched to Flesh and Blood, and I'm not doing it again. I had things like he still owes me. I think it's a Mono Life White or Mono Life Black deck that he was
Mono White Life Gain. Yep.
And I had another one that I tried to get. I was learning decks and everything, and then he stopped playing. And I was like, "Fuck this! I'm not doing this again."
So, for anybody who does not know, all the people who watch on Twitch get channel points, and Kyle would spend channel points to pick my deck, and I would play games with the deck, and he would like stock up and do things like that to kind of like learn different parts of the game. And so, when I stopped playing Magic, I think still to this day, I have 2 of non-used channel points in my queue that I haven't used from Kyle's request back then.
You better give me those fucking points back.
I think Ben has one too. Which is really hilarious, to be honest.
I actually started doing that originally as a troll, and I think it was like blue-white control was like the first thing I did, and I did it to you 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
And I got bored of doing that, so I started learning actual decks that weren't necessarily his playstyle, but like were things you could play.
Right.
So like I started picking stuff. And that was fun.
So we talked about what your favorite TCG is and what my favorite TCG is. So taking that a step further, take your favorite TCG. What's your least favorite thing about Yu-Gi-Oh?
You got to read the damn card. No, I'm just kidding. The what I hate the most about it, and I can tell this comparison from like Flesh and Blood, is that OTKs are so much more common in Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yep.
I get the first coin flip and I draw like I have my deck set up to like 90% of the time. Fuck you, you're not playing. And that's just how my deck is set up. And that's how it has to be. And if I go against Eldritch, same thing. F you, Kyle, you're not getting the play because you didn't get to go first. There's just an advantage to going first. And some decks even just second, right? But it's like I'm 3 rounds in. Why am I dead?
No, for sure. Yeah. And there's a lot of that in Yu-Gi-Oh! So I think that's a really valid concern for a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Players in general, is that it almost feels like you're playing solitaire more than you're actually playing a card game. I get that. I think it's a very valid thing.
What about you? What about for Fab?
My least favorite thing about Flesh and Blood, and this is a big pain point for a lot of people, but it has to be the price point for the game. It is one of the most expensive, like the barrier to entry is so expensive. And they're doing some things to try to help, like they're printing like these armory decks to make things cheaper and yada, yada, yada. But these like staple cards that you have to have in decks are so wildly expensive. And it just makes it really hard for players to get into the game on a competitive level. So the reprint policy and the cost of the game is really the biggest pain point for me.
I was about to say, is it the cost of entry or the cost to entry and be competitive?
The cost of entry to be competitive. The cost of entry to play the game is like less than $100. But like the deck that I'm taking to London is like $2,000. Like, and it's considered the best deck in the format by a lot of people. And it's just ridiculous because $2,000 changed a lot of people's life. Just spending that on cards is ridiculous. So anyway,
I don't know what he would do for a quarter of that.
Honestly, exactly. I won't tell you what I've done for a quarter of that. That's another time for another story. If you guys want to know about that story, put it in the comments. I'm kidding.
And make sure, by the way, you let us know who has the softer hands between the two of us.
Dude, I can answer that one. It's got to be me.
No, buddy, I don't know that it is.
Bro, look at this. I moisturize. Come on now.
Me too.
Oh, man, you guys are learning too much about our personal lives right now. This is amazing.
It's been on my hands lately. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. All right. So we've talked a little bit about the TCG world. The next thing that we have is I have a couple of games put together that we're going to play based around cards in Flesh and Blood. So let's take a moment. Let's transition over and let's take a look at our first game. Welcome, guys, to game number 1. This game is going to be called Choose Which of These 3 Cards is Currently Banned in the Classic Constructed Format. If you have been playing Flesh and Blood for a while and you're watching on YouTube all 3 of these cards, you probably know from some point in time. If you're listening on Spotify, I'm going to read the cards so that Kyle can get a better understanding of what they are, and Kyle's going to guess which of these cards is banned. And we're going to play this with a few different images we've got here.
I want to do something stupid really first.
Oh, go ahead.
I have a question, and I want to make a guess based on name and then a guess based on what it actually does.
Okay, cool. I love this. We're adding layers to it. All right, so
was the ban recent?
It was when I was on my honeymoon, so August.
It's Command and Conquer.
Ooh, all right. Kyle's wrong, but
I'm right. Keep going. No,
I'm sorry. I didn't know. Okay, it's fine. We'll fix it next time. So we've taken one out for Kyle, basically here. All right. So the 3 cards are: we have Art of War, which is a 1-cost yellow instant that says choose 2. Attack action cards you control get +1 power and +1 defense this turn. The next attack action card you play this turn gains Go Again. Until end of turn, you may defend with attack action cards from your arsenal, or you may banish an attack action card from your hand. If you do, draw 2 cards. The next card is Command and Conquer, which is a 2-cost 6-power attack that blocks for 3, and defense reactions cannot be played to this chain link, and when this hits a hero, destroy all cards in their arsenal.
I don't think it's that one.
Well, considering I told you that it's not that one, you're probably right. The last card is Heart of Fiendel, which is a blue legendary, which says when you pitch Heart of Fiendel, if you have less life than your opponent, gain 1 life. So you know it's not Command & Conquer because I kind of spoiled it. Between the other two, which one do you think is currently banned?
It has to be Art of War.
It is.
If gaining 1 life is that fucking broken in Flesh and Blood, you wouldn't play it.
So the ironic part is if you think about the cards on the screen and the price point here, Heart of Fiendel is the most expensive one on this list, which is hilarious. I think at one point Heart of Fiendel was $500, which is like, yeah, it's ridiculous. And it's kind of funny because it won you about 1% more games than like not having it in your deck would. But let me tell you, your boy got it for $300 at a steal. All right, so Kyle is right. Art of War is the banned card. Moving forward, Kyle's going to guess based off name, and then he's going to guess based off their effect, and we'll see which one Kyle can get. Let's take a look at our next one here. Our next list of banned cards, we have 3 pieces of equipment that are currently, one of them is banned in Classic Constructed. Kyle, based off these 3 cards, tell me which one you think is banned.
All right, so it's Crown of Providence. What's that middle one?
It's called Fiendel's Spring Tunic, and the last one is called Crown of Seeds.
You know what? I'm going to say Crown of Providence.
Crown of Providence, okay. So now we're going to talk about these 3 cards. Crown of Providence is a 2-block generic headpiece that says when this defends, you may put a card from your hand or arsenal on the bottom of your deck. If you do, draw a card, and it has Blade Break. Fiendel's Spring Tunic says at the start of your turn, if this has fewer than 3 energy counters on it, you may put an energy counter on it, and it has the ability of instant, remove 3 energy counters and gain a resource. Crown of Seeds says once per turn instant, put a face down card from your arsenal on the bottom of your deck. Draw a card and prevent the next 1 damage that would be dealt to your hero this turn, and this instant costs 1 resource to do. Now, based off of what I just told you, are you sticking with your answer or are we changing?
No, it's Crown of Seeds.
Okay. Wow. He swaps and he gets it. Crown of Seeds is the banned card in CC right now. Let's go. So after we explain it to him, Kyle's 2 for 2. He's killing it right now. Crown of Providence and Fiendel's Spring Tunic are both legal cards.
With the first one that you did, though, as soon as I heard what Art of War did, I said, I don't give a shit what the other 2 cards do. That's way too much stuff to be allowed in a game.
You are correct. It is way too much stuff, and that's why they banned it.
Crown of Seeds, that one made the most sense to me. I'm just trying to think of like, damn, what, because cards are relatively universal. So a lot of the effects, like, right, I'm like, damn, what are this one I hate to see or what I want to see the most in my deck?
Sure, value is value, right? No, it makes sense. Okay, our last image of which of these cards is banned, we have 3 cards. We have Channel Lightning Valley, Count Your Blessings, and Cerebellum Processor. Which of these cards is currently banned in Classic Constructed?
Channel Light Valley.
Channel Lightning Valley. Okay, now I'm going to read these cards and tell you what they do. Channel Lightning Valley says the first time you deal damage to an opposing hero each turn, draw a card. And then it has Channel Lightning. At the beginning of your end phase, put a flow counter on this, then destroy it unless you put a lightning card from your pitch zone on the bottom of your deck for each flow counter on it. Count Your Blessings is next. We have blue Count Your Blessings here. It is a 2-cost generic instant, and it says gain X life, where X is 1 plus the number of Count Your Blessings in your graveyard. The next card is called Cerebellum Processor. It is a 0-cost blue item, and it says crank. As this enters the arena, you may remove a steam counter from it. If you do, gain an action point. This enters the arena with 2 steam counters on it. At the start of your turn, destroy this unless you remove a steam counter from it, and it has a once per turn action of 0 cost, draw a card. Now, based off your pick, do you want to swap or do you want to stick with it?
Okay, I know it's not Count Your Blessing. That's where I'm at right now. He just made a face, but he's trying to fuck with me, y'all.
I mean, I don't know.
I feel like there's a lot of how you get from the processor, but I feel like I've seen that card playing against Zack. So I'm going to stick with Channel Lightning Valley.
You are actually wrong on this one, and it is hilarious. Blue Count Your Blessings is the banned card here.
What the for?
Yeah, so you can play blue, reds, and yellows, and they ban the blues to try and negate life gain. So
That's a mistake of a fucking card.
Ironically, Count Your Blessings at blue by itself is the least broken card in this set, and it's the only one that's banned. That's why I put this together.
I hate everything.
I knew that one would get you. I was looking forward to that one so much. Okay, so those were our 3 Guess the Band cards. The next one we're going to play is called Guess Which of These Heroes has hit Living Legend or has not hit Living Legend. And then we're going to talk about which order did they hit Living Legend in. So the first one we're going to look at here is we're going to talk about these 3 heroes. We have Iyslander Stormbind, Phi Rising Rebellion, and Dromai Ash Artist. There are 3 heroes here. Some of them, none of them, or all of them could be in Living Legend. Living Legend is when they win so many tournaments that they accrue enough points to not be legal in Classic Constructed anymore. You have to guess which of the 3 heroes are in Living Legend or are not.
So I just have to guess how many, not which ones.
Yeah, guess. Like, you can guess how many, which ones, like whichever you'd like to do here.
Okay, so 2 of them are Living Legends.
Okay, 2 of them are Living Legends. You're correct. Do you want to take it a step further and guess which ones? Huh?
Phi.
Okay.
First one, Rising Rebellion.
Okay.
And the Goth Mommy.
Dromai?
Yeah.
Okay, so looking at this, Phi is actually the only hero not in Living Legend from this.
I see that so much on your streams, and I'm like, oh, that means it's got to be good. He's so good at Flesh and Blood, y'all. If y'all don't know, go subscribe. He's so good that he's playing something not that good and just beating dicks with it. Good for him.
Thanks, Kyle. I appreciate it, man.
You're welcome, buddy.
So Iyslander
and
and Dromai are actually the 2 heroes that have already hit Living Legend. Phi is the only one from this set called Uprising that is still legal in Classic Constructed. All right, let's take a look at our next set of heroes here. So again, you're guessing how many or all of these heroes are Living Legend or not. We have Chain Bound by Shadow, Prism Sculptor of Arclight, and Levia Shadowborn Abomination.
It's only one.
Okay.
Am I right?
No, there's 2 of them that are in Living Legend currently.
Oh, there's 2 of them.
Which one did you think?
Definitely the one on the left, the one with the worst artwork.
Chain? Yep, you're right.
Yeah.
Chain was the first hero from the 3 of these to get to Living Legend. Which of the other 2 do you think is Living Legend?
I'm going to say the one on the very end, the Shadowborn Abomination. I'm going to say the entire set was really strong, and so they both went Living Legend.
Okay, so it is Prism. It is the one in the middle here. Ironically, yeah. The one on the right is by a lot of people considered the worst hero from this set. They are all from the same set.
You guys are morons. I couldn't.
Levia is considered one of the worst heroes from her set. But yes, Prism and Chain are both hit Living Legend here. All right, let's take a look at our last set of 3 heroes. For our last set of 3 heroes, we have Lexi Livewire, Oldham Grandfather of Eternity, and Briar Warden of Thorns. Which of these heroes, or if not, it can be all of them or none of them, by the way, are in Living Legend?
None of them.
None of them?
None of them.
All right, Kyle's shooting in the dark here, and I can appreciate it, but we're wrong.
All of them?
It is indeed all of them, yes. This is considered, the set is called Tales of Arya. It's considered one of the most powerful sets ever released in Flesh and Blood, and every single hero from that set is now in Living Legend.
Only to you filthy casuals.
We're now filthy casuals.
I'm gonna match it to Flesh and Blood, by the way, and I don't know anything about it.
Listen, you did really good on the band cards, man. The LL heroes are a little bit tougher because, you know, like there's a lot of text on heroes and they can be tougher and some stuff like that. But you
maybe more than just the names. I'd have went 100% for sure.
That's fair. If we'd actually read the cards to you, you might have been able to like go the distance there. But you killed it on the band cards for sure. Yeah. It was a lot of fun. It was really fun to like see someone, you know, who doesn't play a ton of Flesh and Blood try to pick out heroes from the sets and see which of them are broken, which cards are broken, and which are banned for sure. Coming back from our game there, Kyle absolutely crushed it, getting 2 out of the 3 sets of banned cards, and then guessing pretty well on which heroes are living legend, considering he didn't know what was what when he was looking at it. I have to say, I think card game knowledge just kind of transfers, over across a lot of card games. Just value's value, right? Just kind of how it goes.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that are universal, right? Like, again, if gaining 1 life would have been the dictator, right? We'd have quit recording. I'd have went and played Yu-Gi-Oh! and just had a life giver deck and just take my 12,000 health points. Fuck with me.
I mean,
I just would have been annoying.
I get it, dude. I completely get it. So I've got a couple more things here on the docket, and one thing that I want to talk about is, Pro Tour London's coming up. Carly and I are going to London, and yes, much cat in the background.
2 cats.
No, 2 really much cat in the background.
You can't see this one because she matches the cat.
I was like her white chest is like showing a little bit. You can see it in the background there. So Pro Tour London's coming up, and this is a really big deal because it's the first Pro Tour I've ever qualified for. This has been a couple years in the making, me kind of like grinding it out, trying to get to where I want to be. And so this is a really big deal. And I gotta say, I'm really excited to like play at the pro level, and I think as far as like playing at the pro level, you're someone who can kind of relate to that. Maybe not when it comes to cards necessarily, but you played. We talked about in a previous episode. You played professional Call of Duty, even if it was for a shorter stint. You played professional Call of Duty, so you can relate to that. So, kind of talk about what that feeling you get from playing at that high level against some of the best players in the world. Like, kind of talk about that for a minute here.
Oh man, when it comes to stuff like that, I'll give 2 examples. Neither one can relate to the card game, but they share a lot of similarities, right?
Yeah.
So one is Call of Duty, and when I was playing competitive Call of Duty, it was all just muscle memory to me, and it was early enough where I didn't know these big names weren't as big, right? When I played people like Scump and I had like Apathia on my team, it was just a whole bunch of grinders trying to make the scene something.
Right.
It's really hard for me to compare that. It was a lot of fun. There's a lot of assholes, and myself included. I'm also an asshole, right? I'm not excluding myself from there. I'm self-aware at least. It's so much fun. The experience, the people, I couldn't begin to explain how much fun it is. The camaraderie that you get when you also realize that everybody else is just guys, and the amount of shit talking that happens is hilarious.
Well, and I feel like it's one of those things where, you can talk shit and then still be friends afterwards. It's like, we were talking shit. Let's go get a drink, that kind of thing.
It's like a sport. It's like if you and me go play pickup basketball. That's how I would relate it. It's like
100%.
I'm going to put my hand up. I'm a mouse in the house. Get me the damn rock.
Yep.
But it's not like it's not hurtful, right? It's not hurtful banter, right?
It's not personal. Like it's just like because we're there, we're balling, we're there to play and like compete, and like it's part of it. And I feel like that's kind of lost. And I will say like that doesn't necessarily like card games aren't really that way. There's a lot of sportsmanship and like like we may talk about like some bad beat stories or something like that. But I will say like that it is a little bit tougher to translate that, that like shit talking, it's really like something I only do with my friends or like when we're playing video games or, it doesn't really translate to cards that much. So I feel like pickup basketball is a really good analogy.
And I think part of it too is the difference in communities. I would almost relate what I would consider cards to be like professional cards to like high level Clash of Clans. I'm going to nerd out slightly here. So I apologize for those of you who are card players who are not Clash guys. But I was in a clan that was top 10 in the United States and top 200 in the world.
That's awesome.
And we had our own designated competitive esports team, which is why you've seen, if Zack recalls, we have my own clan. Now we have an esports clan that we go do like open tournaments with. That doesn't get very far because I'm the only good one of the bunch.
Let them know.
We don't get very far, right? But like I would compare it a lot more to that, where everybody's super helpful, super nice. There's still a little bit of shit talking. Shout out the USA Clan family and USA SEAL Team 6. Fucking nasty group of dudes.
Let's go.
Fucking animals, by the way. I don't want to talk to any of them. But they're all giant nerds, right? Like,
sure, yeah.
But fantastic people. That's how I would equate that more so to. Even though I've never gotten to that pro level in Clash, and probably never will. But I've gotten to play at a decent high level where they let me play with those guys some.
Man, I don't know. You keep it up the way you're going. I definitely think you're going to get there playing Clash of Clans, buddy. I'm going to be honest, man.
I hope not.
Listen, I remember when we were two 16-year-old kids playing Clash of Clans in different parts of the country because we lived 10 hours apart. And, we had like truck stops for bases. And now you have like 9 accounts. And like they have like all these different, it's nonsense. And don't worry, we're going to talk about that. That's coming up. Clash of Clans is coming up. Where Kyle's going to get a chance to tell us about how little of a life he has when it comes to Clash of Clans.
Yeah, I have a problem. I actually had to start doing YouTube because otherwise there was no justification for like 8 or 9 accounts. So I started being a YouTuber, and now that I make money, it's reasonable that I have 9 accounts in Clash of Clans.
It's valid, but you got to put in that time and that effort to get there. You know, and that's how I feel about playing cards. I've streamed and played cards for years, just paying money and losing money month after month after month. And so now, it's like the fact that there might be like some positive throughout the year is pretty awesome. Go ahead.
No, please.
I was just gonna like go on and say, and one of the biggest positives about like playing Flesh and Blood at this high level is, the gentleman who created Flesh and Blood, his name's James White. His whole motto for the game is play the game, see the world. Like that's his whole thing.
Yeah.
And so that really sits with me because Carly and I are going to get to go vacation in London, and like we're going to do all this fun London stuff, and I'm going to get to play cards. And then in June, I'm going to Vegas. Now, Vegas isn't London by any means, but it's still fun, and I have a great time. So, and I've made so many great friends along the way that I feel like, play the game, see the world is really becoming a part of my life. And it's just it's just a great feeling to be able to, reminisce, make friends, and then play against some of the best players in the world.
It almost feels like it's better to create the community and make the friends than to just worry about being the best humanly possible. You still want to be the best, but, and I'll say this, right? Shout out to AgroBlaze, very much so. I didn't think streaming Clash of Clans was going to go anywhere. I did YouTube uploads and they did okay, and Zack pushed me to stream, and I didn't realize how good of a Clash of Clans player I really was until people come in and saw me do it, and they go, holy shit, how are you doing this? And reading chat at the same time. It's like visibility spells. You're not looking at what you're doing, and I was like, what do you mean? Doesn't everybody? They go, no. Not everybody's doing this, you putz.
Dude, I'm so glad that you started it, like, honestly, because I know you were very on the fence about it for a while, and I'm so glad that you did, because, like, every night when I jump into your stream, or, like, not every night, when I'm not asleep, because Kyle streams way later than I do, but when I jump in there and, like, there's, like, 15, 20 people watching, and I'm like, dude, this is awesome. Like, I love to see it. It brings joy to me to be able to see that. And, the amount of people from all over the world that are in your chat and hanging out, like, I feel like you have, like, the United Nations, like, in your chat. And it's awesome, dude. It's awesome.
I don't know what your demographic looks like, but only 20% of my demographic is American.
Yo, are you serious?
And then like 14% Canadian. And the rest most of them are like India, Philippines.
Okay. Interesting.
I also get a lot from the UK, Ireland, but seriously, like 35% of my chat is English as their first language. Otherwise, it's a second language.
Really?
That's how wild it is. Something like that. Yeah.
That's really cool.
It's exaggerated. It's literally it's something like that.
I did not know that. Huh? That's really neat. Yeah, I think
a lot of Spanish speakers. I get a lot of people who speak Hindi, which I feel really bad for when they come in typing something. I go, I don't even know what language that is, dude. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. No. I get it. Like it's. I think most of the people that watch my stream are like, English based or like US. I think like 60% of my viewers are like US based. So it's a lot of people from the US, but I get a lot of people from around the world, like I have a couple people in my chat that when I go live at 7-8 o'clock, they're like, oh, good morning. And I'm like, what? I'm like, no.
I see that more than how are you doing today? I see good morning more than anything else.
It's trippy, right? A little bit. So I don't know. It's cool though.
I just say good morning and then I point to my window.
That's funny.
My porch light's on. It's 11:30.
Dude, speaking of time change, we were talking about London. When we go to London, we're leaving Wednesday afternoon from Tri-Cities, like our airport or whatever. And then we land in London at 7:45 a.m. Thursday morning. And we're going to try and stay up all day. So it's going to be quite a trip. It's going to be fun. Like, I'm excited. But it's going to be, that first day is going to be tough. Thankfully, we have some cool stuff on the docket. We're going to go see, Parliament, I think, is one of the things we're going to see, and then we're going to go like ride the Ferris wheel, the Eye or whatever the heck it's called.
Are you going to do any British cuisine?
Oh yeah. Saturday,
beans on toast.
We're going to get fish and chips Saturday. That's one of the things we're doing.
Toast.
Probably. I mean, we're going to do all the stuff that we can while we're there. We're going to see Wicked. I think we're going to see Wicked like at the opera one night. Like in the theater district. That'll be cool. So anyway, I can ramble about my trip some other time when we're not.
No, I actually wanted to ask you about what are you most excited to go to London and try?
You're going to make fun of me because this is like one of the most basic things in the world. I really want to ride the Ferris wheel. Like the Eye. The giant Ferris wheel. They call it the London Eye, I think. I'm super excited to do that. That is like one of my favorite things that I'm excited to do. That, and we're having like a big like dinner with all the people on my Discord on Friday night. And I'm super excited to do that because it's a great time. I was like, dude, your cat's just like trying to come down off the couch right now, and I love it.
Yeah, he's trying to do it, and I have a bag of chips next to me. And he's trying to not get on the bag of chips, which I appreciate. He's also fat like I am, so he understands, who comes first.
That's hilarious. All right, last thing I got on the docket for us tonight is hot takes. With what little you know about Flesh and Blood, what is your hot take on Flesh and Blood?
Man, after that game we played, Count Your Blessings is bullshit. It's fucking nonsense. First of all, it's boring as shit, and it just makes the game go slow. Just staple my nuts to a wall iron.
It is. A lot of people feel that way. It takes.
You said it might not be a hot take, but
I think that more people agree with you than disagree with you. But it has definitely been a very stressful point for the community because Count Your Blessings is very non-interactive. It's not a lot of fun. Like it's pretty boring. So like a lot of people don't like it. So I think that you having a hot take of Count Your Blessings is lame is pretty on point with what the community thinks.
Yeah, good. I'm glad the community knows something.
That's right. Something, guys. Something.
Something.
My hot take about Flesh and Blood is that LSS's reprint policy and the price of cards sucks. And, I'm not someone who likes to bash LSS very often because I think they do a lot of great things for the game and the community. But, reprint policy sucks. The cost of the game at a competitive level is really bad. There's a new card that just came out. It's called Shelter from the Storm. It was $50 or $60 when it came out opening weekend. It is now $115 a card.
Is that because of the policies like you mentioned, or is that because of scalpers and limited prints?
Well, both. The second one, really. It's really because of the limited print. Okay. It's just it was a limited print run on this set, and a lot of people are struggling to get it, so it's more expensive. I understand that's not their fault, but there's just a lot of cards like that have been around for the last, 2 to 4 years that are still very expensive, $80, $100 a card, and you need 3 of them to be competitive. So
but that does sound more like certain people taking advantage of the community more than the company itself.
There's a lot of people who have very they have very popular YouTube channels, and they literally make a video about cards being popular, but the day before the video comes out, they buy out the card, so the price spikes like crazy.
So it's just scalpers.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But anyway, that's a whole other conversation for another time.
I do want to pose one question to you that I wanted to surprise you with.
Hit me with it, dude. Let's go.
And again, this is going to be kind of a lame question because it's one I ask very often, but I think this will make him think even more so.
All right.
If you could change what card, what would you change and what would you do to it?
If I could change one card?
One card, you can do anything to it.
Yo.
See, that's just gave him free reign. I'll make it real easy. I actually have one.
Oh, go ahead. Hit me with it.
What was that one that you said cost you $300? What was that card?
Oh, Heart of Fandle?
Yeah.
What about it?
It should give you 2 life, not 1. There you go.
Oh, okay.
It should give you 2 life. It's going to cost that fucking much. It should give you more fucking health. You hear me?
I feel like there's a lot of people who really like your idea. Whoever watches it's going to be like, hell yeah, get this guy in design right now.
That's right.
Oh, man.
Release a new print of it, but only holographic print. There you go.
One card that I could change.
You could edit any way you want.
That I could edit in any way that I want.
Now, for the love of the game, you try and keep it relatively balanced, right?
Okay, so I have one that people aren't gonna like.
We love to see it.
You take the card Command and Conquer that I showed you earlier on the first picture there.
I hate that card.
Make it cost 3 instead of 2. Now, that seems like a very small thing, but if you make it cost 3 instead of 2, it's harder to pummel it. There's a lot of like interactions there that you make a lot worse inside of the game with that card. And I think that's an overall net positive for the game because you're forcing more people to play it as a 2-card 6. And I like that a lot. So make Command and Conquer cost 3. Fight me in the comments.
Do you struggle against Command and Conquer a lot?
A lot of the decks that I play don't block very efficiently right now. So it's like one of those cards that like I kind of just get like got by sometimes.
So he wants it for personal gain, not for...
I think it would be an overall plus for the game. So one of my favorite decks of all time is Victor, and Victor like would get hosed by this card costing 3. But I think it would be better for the game personally.
Victor Wembanyama?
Okay, we're done.
He's out for blood clots, isn't he?
We're done. Kyle, anything you want to add tonight before we call it?
No, man. Thank you guys so much for your support, and I hope you guys enjoyed Zack making me look like a fool for half these cards. I did it myself too. I don't make it very hard on him. So
Kyle didn't look like a fool. I thought he killed it tonight. I really enjoyed our game. I thought it was fun. Let me know what you thought of our game in the comments below. I thought it was pretty interesting. Also, see Kyle flexing if you're on YouTube. If you're on Spotify, sorry, you're missing out, guys.
It's just YouTube so you can watch me flex and show off my tattoo.
Exactly. There it is.
You missed it. And you can see how soft my hands look.
Oh my God. Guys, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, leave a comment. Let us know what you liked, what you didn't like, what we can do better. And we'll see you guys next time. Take it easy, guys.